and welcome to an Irish woodworker's diary. I'm Phil Gaynor. Now today's video is more of a chit chat video. I'm going to talk about a few things. One being wood chisels and specifically wood chisels that I use. I like to use a wooden handled wood chisel in the workshop. It's like a 1940s style woodworking is what I do. It's what I like to do. And therefore I like to use timber handled wood chisels. Now these particular wood chisels that I have are relatively inexpensive. They have a super flat back on them because you have to spend a bit of time on them. You have to flatten the back of them. That's what I've done. They have a super flat back. They have a lovely edge. And they're a beautiful chisel to work with. But, and here's the big but. The first problem I found with these chisels that I use is the handles. It came loose. So we have the blade here, we have the handle there. So that was the first problem I encountered with them. It still hasn't deterred me from using them. I mean, I'm still a beautiful chisel to use. And the second problem I encountered with them was this: the handle broke, split. Now, all that's left of this one is as you can see, is the blade, the tang, and the ferrule. Having said that, it's not a big problem. It's not a big problem. We have a lovely piece of ash here now, a lovely bit of white ash, hard, dense timber. And this piece of timber here will make beautiful handles. So I'll probably replace the handles on these particular chisels with a lovely piece of ash. And that'll make another program video. But the thing I'm getting back to about wood chisels is that, you can see why people use these chisels here. They have a metal striking cap on them. You can give them a right belt, and these chisels are going to take the impact far better than the wooden handled chisel. That's the Stanley, and then you have the marbles. The marbles, these are. I have these years. I use these every day, and again, fantastic chisel, split-proof handle, and again can take a good bashing. Because that's what you'll be using all day, is a hammer on your belt. And you strike at the top of the chisel. So these are a very good chisel, the marbles there. And again, these are the year one here. The year one are, again, another pretty good chisel, split-proof handle. Nice chisel. But like I said, I like to use these. These are a lovely chisel, but they have their problems, and the problem is the handles. So what I've learned from this is I have to get rid of this bloody mallet because it's too feckin' heavy, and I need to go make myself a smaller mallet, or a timber mallet that's more suitable to striking these wood chisels. So that's the thing I learned about the whole wood chisels. The second thing I want to talk about, now as the name suggests, an Irish woodworker's diary, we have a diary. And this diary here, I started my first project on the 21st of May, and I have it here in the diary, 21st of May, kitchen display cabinet. 11th of June, project 2, tool talk. And it goes on. It goes on, and then on the 13th of July, I've wrote down a few things, a few thoughts I had, a few whatever. It's just general chit-chat type book. Like, I've had diaries I've probably been keeping diaries for 10 years now. Not to the workshop diary, but I've been keeping diaries for 10 years. And it's a fantastic way to look back on things, And when I started in the college in 2010, building furniture, I got myself a scrapbook. So I also have a scrapbook, and I'm going into my third scrapbook now, and I have documented all my furniture from then to now. And it's a great idea for guys that are out there, especially young guys starting out, or guys as old as myself starting out, to document your bits and pieces that you do. Fantastic. You know, in a couple of years' time, I could be many years' time, I could be in an old nursing home or something like that, and young lads will come along and say, Jesus, Dad, do you remember when you built that? You know, and I look at the picture and I will say, yeah, I remember building that, like, you know. That's what I've done it for. It's for my documenting things for myself. Great idea. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was the channel. So, the Irish Woodworkers Diary, it's pretty much looking back on the 1940s type woodworking, 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever. You know, it's going to be a little diary, a little journey through the things I want to do. I've always been fascinated as a young lad when my uncle would come over to the house and he'd be doing work on the house, and he never took out power tools. I mean, I think the only power tool he had was a jigsaw, and he only used it for cutting letter boxes out, when I had seen him using it. And for the most part of the work he done, and indeed when Nigel was with my cousin, Nigel used all hand tools. I mean, himself and the cousin and the uncle, you know, when you see them using their hand tools, it's like, it was amazing. Like, you know, I mean, I was only a knee height of a grasshopper. My uncle was probably in his 40s and Nigel was probably 17 or 18, and they were working together, doing their bit of work, and it was just a fantastic sight to see. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to recreate, you know, hand tool work. And I won't always be in the workshop. I have other projects outside around the garden. I want to build a little shed. I want to build a pergola. I want to build new gates up the front and side gates and every sort of thing I want to build. And I'm going to be building a front porch. So all this work, 90% of it will be done with hand tools. We might have to introduce an odd power tool, but it'll be little, you know, it'll be just little use of it, like, just very little use. So anyone that's watching this channel, it's hand tools. There's no point in looking at my channel and thinking he's going to plug us all in now in a minute. It's not going to happen, buddy. I did have one little slip up on my videos. I had to use a cordless drill, but we're working on that. We're going to get the proper bits now for the Yankee screwdriver, and there'll be no more cordless drill. That's it, guys. I mean, that's where my channel is going. So if anyone's wondering, you know, what this channel is about, like I said, it's all about hand tools. And there's some fantastic YouTubers out there, and they all use hand tools. Paul Sellers, fantastic YouTuber. The English woodworker, fantastic woodworker. Richard McGuire is his name. David Barron, fantastic woodworker. You know, the list goes on. I mean, it goes on and on and on. I mean, there's hundreds of people out there using Tom Fidgen, another fantastic Canadian woodworker, the Unplugged Workshop, super woodworker. And like I said, the list goes on. So I'm only just another tag along, you know, I'm just doing what they're doing basically. I'm just showing people hand tools. We can still use them. These here. This is what we're using. We're using this and a bit of that. You know, we're not plugging in something and it's going to do it for us, you know. Especially when I look at programs like, you know, people using Carverite or, you know, Xcarve or any of them sort of programs. I mean, like, you know, there's not a lot of skill really involved. I suppose working with a computer, you know, programming, fine, but you can't beat this. Using these and a bit of this, that's all you need. That's all anybody needs to get through life, you know. Anyway, guys, as always, it's a pleasure being at my workbench and talking to the camera to you guys. So, from Phil Gaynor, an Irish Woodworkers Diary, cheers lads.